before I go on making any more content about luxury, I really wanted to speak to you guys about how to afford luxury without going broke. I know that sometimes we feel pressure to keep up with the Joneses. We really want to kind of live the life that you see online, live the life that you see on social media. But I feel like I almost have a duty to you guys to make sure that I'm doing my bit in making sure that we're all financially literate, and make sure that I share with you guys what my experiences have been and how even I'm able to afford luxury without going broke. Because I think that there is a way to go about buying luxury without compromising your financial health. The first thing I think that's really important is to do some financial planning. It's really important to assess what you have coming in and what you have going out. And what I've done is to work based on percentages. So I think it's definitely okay to enjoy the money that you make. And I don't think that it's healthy, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to kind of just work and not enjoy the fruits of their labor or not enjoy the money that they make. But I definitely think that in my experience, the best way to go about doing that is to pick a percentage of your income that you're willing to spend on things that you enjoy. Now that can be luxury, that can be, I don't know, football tickets or makeup or whatever it is that you enjoy. In my case, I like luxury, but I think it's important to spend based on your income. So for me, I kind of aim for like 6%. I don't know if that is good or bad, but that's how much I aim for. So 6% of my income, sometimes I might go up to 10% of my income, is what I keep aside or what I use for purchasing luxury things or things that I enjoy. And that is definitely something that I would encourage most people to do. So what you want to do is make sure that you've got some money in savings, got some money that's working towards, you know, things that you want to achieve in the future, money for bills, mortgage or rent or all of those kind of things. And then the money that you have left, I wouldn't suggest, or at least I don't use all of that money on enjoyment. I only stick to about 6% of my income, and anything additional that I have that's spare, I put in savings. Yeah, so I'm sure to make sure that I also have savings. I know that it can be easy to think, oh, you know, well, I'll just pay for all the essential stuff and then anything I've got left, I'll just spend it. I think savings are really important. We never know what's going to happen. Financially, everybody's a bit pressured at the moment and things always change for the better and the worse. So it's always a good idea to have some money saved aside for rainy days. That kind of leads me into my second point, which is to think about why you want what you want. So in this case, we're talking about luxury, but it can relate to anything. And of course, there's social media. You guys are watching this video now, so there's lots of things that we take in, that we watch, that influence what we want. And I think it's really important with anything that costs lots of money to think about why you want it. If you want it because it makes you look good to other people, or you think it makes you look good to other people, or you think that it's going to do anything for you, you've got to think about, is that true? Because sometimes we do lie to ourselves. But is that true? Is it accurate? Is it realistic? Is it healthy for you to think that way? I think that we don't focus enough when it comes to luxury and expensive things on how people have what they have. And I know that money is a taboo subject for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't want to share how they have what they have. But I think it's so important to not go broke for luxury. I mean, it's definitely not worth it. I do know that sometimes people buy on credit cards. You can buy things on credit cards to improve your credit, but to buy luxury things on credit cards with no real idea how you're going to pay it back, or knowing that you don't have the money, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that. I think it's important to understand that we have stages in life. And if you see somebody who has lots of things that you want, that just because you don't have it now, or you can't afford it now, or it would put you in a bad situation to buy it now, it doesn't mean that you're never going to happen. It might just be that you have to wait until you get there. And it might be that you feel as though you've got lots of money and you can buy everything. And I always feel like life always changes. So that in itself could be temporary. You know, you never know when that flow of money might stop. So it's why it's always important to have savings and always have money aside. But as it relates to luxury in this case, I definitely would recommend thinking about why you want what you want. So once you have that squared away, and you kind of feel like, I think the best reason to want anything is because you actually like it, and it makes you feel happy and it's something that you enjoy. So if you're in that situation, but maybe you don't feel as though you have enough money to buy luxury, then the next thing that I'd recommend is to save. I'm definitely not in a position where I can buy everything that I want. And so what I tend to do is just buy the things that I really like. So of course there's tons of things that I like the look of, or that I wouldn't mind owning, but then there are other things that I just really like them. And what I tend to do is focus on those things first. So if there's a handbag or a piece of jewelry that I feel like I really like and I don't have the money for it right now, then I will just save every month and save up. And also on occasions I might ask for contributions to it, or let people know that this is what I'm looking for. And it might take you months, it might take you years, but I definitely think that's better than putting yourself in situations where you're compromising your livelihood. The next thing you can also do if you're saving, I think, is to shop flash sales and to wait for general sales. So flash sales, I use Luisaviaroma for flash sales. I'm not sure that there are many other sites that do it, but I do know that. So if you put your email address into like Farfetch and My Teresa and these kind of websites, that they will let you know when they are having sales. And what I've done a few times is a lot of the websites, they will send you like 10% off if you give your email address. So I might wait a little while before giving them my email address, waiting until I actually need to make a purchase, and then using that 10% off with their sale on top and getting it for as cheap as possible. Luisaviaroma, sometimes they have like hour sales. So they'll have like 25% off for the next hour. And don't feel pressure to buy when you see those, because it always comes back up. So sometimes they'll have 10% and 20% and 25%. So I usually just have what I want in my basket and I wait. And then when I see that the sale's on, then I might go in and purchase it. The next thing that I would recommend is to buy investment pieces. Now, I think that for me, I have done this quite a bit, because I think that depending on your financial situation, like of course, if you've got lots of spare money, I think that it is not unreasonable to move from buying things that you can guarantee some money back from to just buying things that you like. But if you're not in that situation like me, then I definitely think that buying investment pieces is something to consider, buying things that hold their value. And I know that saying kind of gets thrown around a lot, like I'm going to buy this because it holds value, without people actually knowing if that is the case. So I would definitely recommend doing research first. So what I do when I'm interested in buying something is go onto resale sites. So I'll go into the resale site, I'll type in what I'm interested in buying and see what the prices are for what I'm interested in buying. What I focus on though is not how much they're being sold for, but how much they have been sold for. So on a lot of websites, like the Vestiare Collective, I usually go on first. On there, you can filter to items that have been sold. And so you can see on average how much a particular item sells for. And then you can get an idea of how much your item might be worth if you are able to keep it in good condition. I think bearing in mind the resale price of items, or focusing a bit more on investment pieces, at least in the beginning, might be a good idea. Should you ever have to sell what you've bought, at least you'll be able to recoup some of your money back. I don't think that this works so well with clothes, but definitely with handbags. There are particular styles that are staples, more staples for brands. So if you shop items that are kind of brand staples, then they do tend to hold at least some of their value and you are able to recoup some of your money back. I would also say, along with thinking about why you want to buy these luxury items, I do think that we are all deserving of luxury. We're all deserving of being treated well. We're all deserving of having, the nice things, because life's hard. But I think that it is always important to consider the position in life that you are in. There is nothing wrong. I can't afford everything that I want in life, and there's nothing wrong with being in situations where you can't afford everything that you want in life. But I do know that I plan on continuing to work hard for what I want. And although living a life that I want or living a life that I desire is really important, there are a couple of other things that are more important, and those are making sure that I've got a roof over my head, making sure that I've got food to eat and I've got clothes on my back, and that there are no, bailiffs or anybody chasing me. So I make sure I got all of that stuff sorted out first, and I would encourage everybody to do that too. Trust me guys, life works in stages, and if you are not there yet, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. On top of that, I don't believe that luxury makes you stylish, guys. So if you are somebody who, you're like me, you just enjoy fashion, you love putting looks together, you love expressing yourself through fashion, you can definitely do that without buying luxury. It's not, a requirement in order to be fashionable. You can definitely find pieces that are inspired by luxury or inspired by designer items that can give you the same look and feel of things. You can, shop smaller designers, shop local. There are so many things that you can do to express yourself in different ways and have a similar effect. I definitely do think there is value in buying luxury. That's why I buy it. But I haven't always been able to, and I don't think it makes anybody more or less of a person or more or less valuable if they are or are not able to do so. So my next point is definitely don't give in to the pressure. Don't let anybody or anything, including social media, pressure you into doing or being or buying anything. You really need to think about what you want from your life, and if luxury does come or is a feature of that, then I definitely think that there is a productive way to go about it. And the most luxurious thing you can do in your life is take care of yourself first. So you need to make sure that you're okay first before you give money to anybody, because essentially that is what happens. You're giving money to receive a product, and so you just need to make sure that you're okay first. I was watching a video, I think I mentioned it in my Get Ready With Me, that I watched a video about somebody who, I guess you would consider them famous, who was talking about buying luxury on a credit card or having to pay off a credit card. And it dawned on me then that I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe there are people who are actually putting themselves in debt to buy luxury, and I just don't want to contribute to that way of thought, or I want to make sure that I'm clear that that is not something that I would encourage any of you guys to do. I mean, everybody has to learn from their mistakes and everybody's different, so it is up to you, but I would definitely think that some things take time and everybody's path to where they're going is different. So just bear that in mind, guys. I do have a finance channel. I haven't made videos on there for a long time, but if you guys are interested in any more tips around financial planning or anything like that, then please DM me on Instagram and I'll give you the advice that I think works for me. I hope you guys have found this video helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.